As a moving business owner, your day starts with a plan. But what happens when your movers don't show and that plan falls apart? Last minute no-shows. You're left to bootstrap, jumping in as an extra body. Yet sometimes, even that's not enough. This isn't just a disruption, it's a barrier to your business growth. Introducing Moving Force, your on-demand moving team. With Moving Force, say goodbye to no-shows and hello to peace of mind. With reliable, on-demand staff ensures you're never undermanned, turning your operational nightmares into a thing of the past. Moving Force, where every day is moving day and every move is smooth. Empower your business and keep growing without missing a beat. Join Moving Force today and move forward with confidence.
All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Mornings with Movers. I'm Dwight Mack with Moving Force. We got Ryan Marsh with Super Move. We talking about all of his eye boogies right now. So, Ryan, let's get it.
Yeah, no, just a slight eye infection, we think, but we're good. No more eye boogies, just redness, and I can't really see out of this eye that well. So, thank goodness for podcasts. I don't got to read anything, right?
Yeah. No, you don't have to read no. You don't have to read no teleprompts or nothing.
No scripts here.
All right. So, let's see what's really been going on this week. Moving Force has been on a roll. We've been extremely busy this week with getting things in order, retweaking a lot of things, seeing there's a lot of obviously developmental things that we could definitely be doing or whatever the case is, but we are taking the feedback of our audience, more to say. But dealing with the moving industry, I get what you're saying now, Ryan. It ain't always, as what it's chopped up to be about. Because I tell you, I didn't ever think that as a moving company owner, I was difficult. But
You probably were and you didn't realize it, right?
I'm like trying to get them on a schedule, trying to get them to do anything. It's just like pulling teeth.
So I guess this will lead to my question, right? So we both been on the moving side of the house, right? We're used to dealing with vendors, but they're approaching us. Everyone's trying to sell us their product, their software, whatever the case is. What's your journey been like on the flip side? Now you're a vendor going after the same people that you once were. What's it been like? What are the challenges? What have you learned?
What has it been like? It's been like pulling teeth like I was a dentist. And the journey's been amazing. Like I won't ever take anything away from talking to and networking with moving owners because it's like one of the most amazing and fascinating things for me because I'm a nerd when it comes to this stuff of education. So like if you could tell me something different that I may not have explored, or even if I did explore it, I see it as I never learned it. Reteach it to me kind of concept. And try to stay open-minded in that sense because there might be that one slight little nugget in there that changes it all. So, yeah, I'm not going to say, oh, I know it all. Nah, tell me, teach me, coach. But so I think with that, like on that side of the journey of actually speaking and networking with these owners, it's been amazing. Talking to but getting them to do anything is like that's where like pulling the teeth or whatever the case is. And very similar to one of the clients that me and you were talking about, mutual clients. I had the kind of the same ordeal where I was like, oh, okay, now I kind of see what he's saying. So, but other than that, no, it's been fun. My team and we've been working very hard on the back end. Where right now, we're still slightly in Florida, but we are, again, now moving back up the East Coast. So you guys might see us in Massachusetts soon. You might see us in Rhode Island area, so we're just making our journey and having fun doing it and building the processes as we go because I've been learning so much with building the systems, building the processes and stuff like that with this company. And that's for you guys as well that own a moving company. Every step that you take in your business ultimately becomes a process. if you guys aren't writing that down, tweaking it to make it make sense, and then passing it to the people that's going to make the most impact with that process, you're just running around with your head chopped off. And I just had what do you call it? A productive conversation with my wife. I'll just leave it like that about,
Oh
block.
yeah, we need to dive into that. The way you made that sound did not sound like it was productive.
You don't want to say argument, but one of those things where,
Is it mutual disagreement?
yeah, yeah, that. So, it was one of those things where it's like I've always been a big fan of block time. So, I can't do away without it. I can't do away from it, but and trying to deviate from it drives me insane because I got way too much going on. So, oh. Also, I just got my real estate license, y'all, in New York. Don't try to hassle me though. But I can I can now as you sell and buy houses and all that other fun stuff. So woohoo!
I mean, you got your hand and feet and everything, man. You all over the place. You need to block time because I don't even know if you have enough blocks in a day to block off what you need.
And
When your team isn't trained, mistakes happen. Jobs go wrong. Customers complain. And your business? It suffers. At Max Moving Training, we help moving companies like yours build strong, reliable teams from the inside out. From mover and driver training to sales, operations, marketing, and leadership. We give your people the skills to succeed. When everyone is trained, everything runs smoother and your business grows stronger. Training isn't optional. It's essential. Stop guessing. Start training. Join Max Moving Training today.
no, I don't. But I was up to 10:30 last night, and even though they tell you to shut it off at a certain time, that when you're juggling too many things, shutting it off at a certain time is absolute chaos.
Dude, I hung it up at 9 o'clock last night just because my eye was like swollen shut. So different thing. I had a lot of things on my plate, but I had to put my head on a pillow and hopefully it didn't leak all over the place. It's
Yeah.
just
So I actually started creating. So in my real estate journey and whatever the case is, I'm not focused on the. Everybody has their avenue when it comes to real estate, and I don't mind sharing it with you awesome people. But my focus is not to just focus on buying a one-off houses, buying and selling one-off houses for clients. Don't want to do it. Don't have the time to go around doing it. My whole thing is, in New York State, they make it a law that in order for you to do property management, you have to be a licensed real estate agent. So that's public knowledge anyway. So at the end of the day, for those who actually wanted to get into that side of things, now obviously you can manage your own property without obviously being licensed, but if you want to manage other people's property, they do require a license unless it's federal. So it's another stream of passive income, and it's another um, um, avenue of headache as well,
yeah.
because now you're dealing with the average person who could be all types of crazy, but you have to build a system. If you want to be that landlord that's waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning because somebody's toilet is clogged, you can do that. Nobody's stopping you, but you won't ever have that freedom where it's like, do you want to go on vacation? Oh, I can't really go on vacation because I gotta manage these property. These tenants, every time I try to do something, they calling me. So eventually you got to build a portfolio. You got to build processes, you got to build systems, you got to systematize things. One of the things I seen from one of the older property managers that I had several years ago was that, late night, unless it was an emergency, you would call their hotline and leave like a maintenance ticket or whatever the case is, and somebody would get back to you probably in the morning if it was an emergency, and they would take care of the ticket from there. Or if it was an emergency, they'll tell you to go this direction, and somebody will answer the phone that was on 24/7 support. And they'll try to figure out what they could do to try to get someone over there to help you late night. But they weren't like, oh, well, my toilet's clogged. Can you come right now? You know, so it depends on your systems. Like, and if you have let's say for me, I got moving force, now the real estate stuff, max movement training is still around. I'm still doing other stuff outside of that as well. you have to have block time. You have to have systems in place. Otherwise, none of this works. And I'm still planning on going for my pilot license. So I'm it's,
Were you gonna fly to apartment complex, fixing toilets, Dwight? What are you gonna be doing?
I, who knows where wherever the journey takes me.
This mother-
But she pretty much said in our mutual disagreement, um, that, the block time ultimately goes out the window. Especially when you have kids and all this other stuff, because then, obviously nothing's predictable. And that's completely understand. That's why you never block your whole schedule off hour by the day.
Hmm. I can see why I should be arguing with you at this point. 100%. Like just in the three things you've got your hands on, the business opportunities, your schedule is probably pretty blocked. Now you got to be the dad, you got to be the husband, you got to maintain your own I need to see what your schedule looks like. You can
Hey, I even put sleep on my block time, 2 to 6.
2 to 6,
You know, you don't need that much sleep.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
No, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 6:30. My alarm clocks go off 6:30. So worst case scenario, you have to stay up that late. You know what time frame you need to be asleep.
Gee, mm-mm. No, I don't have my hands in that many things, and I ain't got no schedule like that.
So eh, I'm trying to quiet the noise, but the noise won't quiet in my head yet. So I just gotta keep going until I end up crashing. That's just usually how I work.
Well, you keep going the way you're going, and you're trying to get this pilot license. You probably will be crashing if you can't.
As long as I have caffeine, I'll be okay.
Hey, that's what's getting me by this morning right here. A little bit of little Dunkin' on the go.
I'm curious. We got a couple of people in the chat right now. I'm curious to see, do you guys use a block time schedule, or what does your schedule typically flow like throughout the day? Um, Ryan, I know you're juggling Super Move and Sub Shop or whatever the case is, but I guess outside of that, is there anything else?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things. Obviously got the family aspect of it. I got 90 acres worth of land that has to be taken care of. It's got to be brush hog. It's got to be mowed. We took down a couple buildings. We're looking to put a couple pieces on it. And you tack on the properties on top of that. So, I feel you for the property management. I do not leverage or have anybody that manages that. It's kind of a split piece between my wife and I am the first line of defense. So I do take the phone calls if there is a clogged toilet or, hey, this switch is not working or what have you. And what I do is I'll basically delegate that piece. So I'm not big enough in the real estate space at the moment where I need to have somebody to manage it. Um, and I think part of that is the properties that we do have been all gone through, right? They're very nice. They're not, there's no leaks. There's no that like everything has been done. So I think that bought us quite a bit of time before the problems start rolling in, I would say. But I think also is having quality tenants. So I choose a quality tenant over basically a current market rate when it comes to rent. So what I could be getting from the one property is quite a few $100s more per month. There's no doubt. But I have an incredible tenant who, in the event of something is looking like it's going wrong or whatever the case is, will notify me immediately rather than wait until there's an actual problem, right? So it allows me to, be proactive rather than reactive. I think there's a lot to say for that. I think a lot of people get into that rental space to think, oh, money, 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 this, that, what. Sure, yes. Um, but at the same time, what does that look like? Am I going to charge somebody crazy amounts of money to live in a space where they don't really care, they don't want to take on? So like to me, it's part of, hey, like I know you're renting, but I'm giving you such a great rate that these people almost take ownership in that property as well. They don't see it as just a rental where they can go in there, do what they want and, destroy stuff, break stuff, whatever the case is. Like I feel like I'm a pretty damn good landlord, I
Yeah.
would say. Now, still new in the game. If I continue on this path, will I continue to do the same thing I'm doing? I don't know yet because there is a lot of money that will be left on the table. I also do 11 months on time rent. Your December's free. How many people do that? Now, again, if I
Probably no
had
one.
hundreds of properties, but I can tell you right now is my tenants, they remind me when rent's due. They come to me and, hey, here you go. And I'm like, oh, shoot, it's the first or the fourth. I give them a nice autonomy and leeway, right? I don't say, oh, it's due on the first, within the first week. Get that over to me. Like, I am not this crazy stickler, what have you. And everybody between the first and second is always there with an envelope full of cash. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful thing. Um, but no, I've taken a couple late night calls. No clogged toilets, but a blown fuse or this, that, what have you. And I've been very fortunate so far, I would say.
Are you in search of a side gig? Get ready to land the ultimate side hustle. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Join Moving Force as a mobile mover. Enjoy the freedom to set your own hours, earn excellent income, and be your own boss. Apply now. Download the app for free, available on the App Store. It's time to make a move, both figuratively and literally.
Yeah, there's a lot of things on the plane. You tack in the kids' hockey schedule, which is 9 months out of the year, practice 3, 4, 5 days a week, plus weekend travel to games, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours away, different states, different countries. There's a lot. But obviously,
I think,
leveraging technology too, I think, has been the biggest thing. Having everything on a calendar, telling my watch, just set me reminders. I talk to this thing more than I talk to probably anybody, sending me
yeah,
little mini reminders about things that I have to get done the day, the week, the month, or what have you.
yeah,
So.
and no matter if you consider that to be block time or not, depending on how the person receiving this message is perceiving it, it's block time. Setting reminders is a block time. Hey, I at six to seven, I got to take the kids to hockey practice. It's
Yeah.
block time. So everybody thinks it's some magical structured thing. No, it's when do you need to get something done? Is it intentional or is it unintentional? Unintentional meaning that maybe you have no control over it because hey, the kid's hockey schedule is when it's at the time it's at. And either you're going to adjust to it or you're not. And hopefully
I
you do
think
because
that
the kids will be mad at you.
what's been helpful for me is kind of reviewing my weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly schedule. Basically, I want to say forecasting that out to the fam, but letting them know, like, hey, so go back the past 4 weeks when I was on the road for just over 4 straight weeks. I'd come home late on a Friday night. I'd have, Friday nights were kind of wasted, so I'd have all day Saturday, right? But then Sunday I was leaving that afternoon to go back on the road. So I think the biggest thing that's been a help for me is, yes, blocking the time for the soup move aspect, the sub shop aspect, blocking time for the land, blocking time for potential maintenance and things like that, blocking time for sleep. I haven't done that yet because I kind of sleep when I'm tired. But I think what's been a real beneficial piece for me um, is communicating what the next week's going to look like, the next month's going to look like. And I can tell you this week here is a week where I'm not on the road, right? So you communicate that forward. Hey, I want to go out to dinner 2, 3 times this week. Let's all link up and hit the golf course at 5:30, play 9 holes, and then go have like all these things. So there's going to be times where we don't see much of each other, and it's going to be a little chaotic. It's a controlled chaos, but then there's going to be times that we forecast. Hey, I got this whole week. We can chill by the pool. We can go to the land. We can mow. We can have dinner. We can do whatever. So to me, there's a lot of value in kind of pushing out what's on my schedule to everybody, and not just the wife and the son, but also my parents as well, because they're huge to our lives. They help with the sub shop. They help with the land. They don't help with Super Move yet because they still don't know what the hell I do. But that's been huge. That's been really huge. But any questions in the box at the moment?
I don't see any yet. But if y'all do have any questions, definitely tune in. Let us know. But pretty much as you already know, these episodes, these podcasts take us wherever the mind is, which is a blessing and amazement for me because basically it's one of those things where we're humans. We're before we're owners. And sometimes these podcasts lead to, hey, how can we help you improve your business? But if you can't improve yourself mentally, then your business is gonna fail it. So, and this kind of leads us to where we are right now, where it's like, hey, what is your schedule looking like? Is your schedule complete chaos, or is it um how you call it, constructive chaos or
I
organized
call mine
chaos.
controlled, organized or controlled chaos.
You
But
know,
it's not chaotic though. I think that's just a term I use. I would say it's very methodical. Would be another word.
using all these weird terms for chaos, but no, it's
It all comes down to planning,
yes.
right? It all comes down to planning. So for the ones that are operating in chaos right now, you peel the onion back. What did you do in Q1 to plan for Q2? Is I always go back to that because right now you, in reality, I mean, most business owners that I'm chatting with at the moment are literally already planning the end of the year and into Q1 of next year. Peak's been planned, they're done. Now they're just operating, right? It's game time. So they've had the practice in Q1. Now, hey, we're not practicing at this point. We are executing. And the ones that are doing that aren't sitting there flying by night during peak, are the ones that have been extremely successful for the companies that we've met so far in the summer road tour. But the ones who haven't planned and are just like, I'm going to figure it out as we go, there's a lot of chaos there. There's a lot of issues.
And that's the same thing here. Like obviously, most of y'all know, Movie Force hasn't been around that long. We're still within our first year, but it was a lot of organized chaos. Well, it was a lot of unorganized chaos in the beginning, and now it's still chaos, but it's becoming more structured, and it's becoming more okay. Well, the innovative brain that just says you should do this. This didn't work right now. Do this is starting to hone all of that in and just say quarter two, quarter three, because we're in quarter three now of the year. Quarter three, we need to be focused on this and only this. We'll make some tweaks to it, but only this portion. Quarter four is the next plan of attack. Let's write down what we want to focus on quarter four and then Q1 of 2026. And it just gets more and more structured once you start to quiet the noise of your innovative brain of, oh, I need to put this in place now. Because it'll drive you out of business real fast because some of those ideas cost. So a previous client of mine's from like the training side of things was like, yeah, I had a busy year last year, but dealing with all these lead providers, dealing with all this stuff, it left me in the red. And and as crazy as it was, schedule wise or whatever the case is, it was really no structure. And that's a thing. Even if you think, oh yeah, you got 100 jobs on the board for the summer month of June and 75 for July, whatever the case is. If you don't have any organization, no structure, your guys ask you for advances, your guys wanting these bonuses if they do this, or you're giving them their tips right away, or whatever the case is. If you don't have no structure, at the end of the day, that 100 jobs mean nothing because you're gonna end up still in the red. Your insurance people are gonna have their hands in your pocket. The rental truck people are gonna have their hands in your pocket. So many people that you don't know is gonna have their hands in your pocket, and you're just gonna think, oh, this action, this feeling right now is gonna continue for the next 2 to 3 months, and then it just completely dies down, and you're just like, oh, I didn't expect.
All right, guys, my name is Brandon. I'm with Max Move Management, and here's 11 steps on how to have a perfect move. The first one, the office should call or your dispatcher should call the customer 2 days prior to arrival. The reason for this is just in case the customer has a closing on the house, maybe they weren't able to secure, a babysitter for the child or a pet sitter. You definitely want to call 2 days in advance. This helps the customer be prepared, and you make sure that you as well know that you're going to a customer that's also prepared. 2, the crew should also call the customer prior to arrival to the home. After the guys have already geared up, you got all your equipment in your truck, you got your address punched into your GPS, go ahead and either the driver or the helper, give the customer a call or a quick text, let them know that you're en route to your location and provide them with the ETA. This also sets the expectation for the customer to be back home just in case they want to drop their kids off to school. For the third one, look to keep the customer happy break the ice in the beginning. So pretty much this means when you walk up to the house, knock on the door with your best mannerism that your mother taught you or father. You knock on the door, introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm the foreman. This is my helper. And you introduce the team that you have with you.
Now, we always planned everything in 90-day chunks, right? 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. And it was, a hell of a lot easier, I would say, than trying to plan out some monstrosity of a piece. But 90 days, and a lot changes in 90 days. There's different lines of business each 90 days that are on point throughout the year, throughout the particular seasons and what have you. So I would be laser focused and be planning out those 90 days. Boom, boom. Digestible chunks makes it a little bit easier. My Slack's going crazy right now. Let me turn this off. Good Lord.
Yeah.
I forgot I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. See, things like that drive you crazy.
Yeah, it's like you say, I forgot to turn notifications off, and that's what happens. Brain just goes boom. And I just read a little snippet of the first line of the text. And I'm thinking, oh man, I gotta make a note. Gotta do this. I got block time.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I feel like for my development piece of things, I was realizing that like with moving force, because obviously you're one of those things where you kind of want to, like with any business and not outside of tech, you kind of want to build that perfect piece. So your brain, anytime your brain is out there, and heads up, if you guys are good with ChatGPT, be mindful because ChatGPT, just like any other, let's say, well, I ain't gonna use that as an example, but ChatGPT is one of those things where chat will always feed into your energy. So if you feel like, hey, chat, what should I do what should I do with my company if I really want to go in this direction? And chat will give you 8,000 ideas. And then you'd be like, well, I don't really know if I should do that because of this reason. And chat will feed into that energy. So it's good and it's very dangerous at the same time because you have to be mentally aware to understand that it's always going to throw ideas out there for you. And you being an innovative person, you being an owner, you're like, that sounds amazing. And then now the whole thing about planning your 90 days in advance becomes chaos because you're really just adding more and more stuff to the pot where you're now almost forgetting about the staples and foundation of what you already had.
My memory just came back a little bit after I've been thinking about that Slack message, but I keep hearing, and I see it on the moving sites. You touched on it here just about 4 minutes ago, but number of jobs per month. I keep seeing this main focus on, we've got to hit 150 jobs. We have to hit 200 jobs. We have to hit 50 jobs. And this is a question for you, Joe. What's more important, the number of jobs that you do or the total revenue that you do that month?
The total revenue.
So why is the focus that I keep seeing? And again, maybe if you're just high volume, you've got 500 trucks and you got to basically get those trucks and people, whatever the case is. But there was once a time where we were like, hey, we got to do, 200 jobs in June, July, August. And then just got to the point where it was like, we're so focused. The sales team was on hitting the magic 200 number. But what was filled within those 200 jobs? 4-hour minis, 6-hour minis, $1,200 locals. No, thank you.
So
No,
the thing is, it's called like reverse engineering. Let's just say that your goal for the year was $2 million or more. Uh, what is your average job ticket? Your average job ticket, say, was $1,500. Just throwing that number out. So now you're like, okay, well, if it's $1,500, I need to have 700 jobs this year. So now in June, you're like, if I can hit 100 of the 700, then I'm on track to meeting my 700, which would then average out to $2 million. So I guess they could be looking at it that way, or they could just be looking at it as let's keep our guys fed because we want to make them happy.
And I think, that's where diversification comes in because you want to do 100 jobs at $1,200. Say that's your average local, whatever, is $120,000, but you had to burn through 100 jobs. It's 100 jobs being dispatched. That's 100 potential jobs where there could be a claim. That's 100 potential times those trucks are running and there's a potential breakdown. I'd prefer two $60,000 commercial jobs that month. Why not? With the whole team. Now, again, easier said than done, I would say, but it can be done. But we did exactly what you're saying. Hey, we're a $7 million moving company, right? You don't divide that 7 million into 12 months because January, February, and March are going to be a little bit less, and the same thing with October, November. But there was, June, July, and August, we wanted $1 million each month. But how do you get that? Reverse engineering, as you said. Let's look at the lines of business that we have. Let's take this. We were very selective of the jobs. We used to be a company that would book on the spot, right at the kitchen table. But then we noticed, my goodness, I just booked a local move for Dwight, a local move for Ryan. Meanwhile, I got a $30,000 commercial job that just came in looking for those same dates. So
Mhm.
what do? You don't want to be the company that calls and cancels a move, but you just blocked yourself out of an opportunity because let's face it, capacity. You can only book what you have, right? And I hear the thing like, nobody says no, and we can always rent trucks and things like that. But I'm all about the revenue aspect. I don't
Hey,
care if it's
hey,
300 jobs or 100 jobs.
hey, you
We get
got
the revenue going.
moving force to keep your capacity very lean.
Yeah.
So, but no, so yeah, don't forget y'all to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also just know that Moving Force is your on-demand moving team for every move. We have increased and got better dynamic pricing so that basically it wasn't all fit all type pricing. So pricing is very unique to wherever you are right now. So reach out to us. We got some guys ready to go get and basically join your team. And so that you don't have to block your schedule in these last couple of months. August is right around the corner. Guys are definitely burnt out, but I know you got to finish the season strong. So reach out to us. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you want to find me.
Or flying a plane or selling a house.
Either or, I might be your next realtor. You never know. Um, so, but yeah. So keep crushing it out there, y'all. Ryan, anything from Supermove or from Ryan in general?
No, I mean, it's here. We're in the thick of it at this point. So get after it. Choose profitable work, slow it down a little bit, and continue to book business.
And watch your marketing. Marketing ROI is everything. Again, we are going to August. August is the last month of technically the last month of busy season. Yes, you feel it in September, but at the same token, it will be dying down by probably October. So figure out your marketing now. Make sure that marketing sources that you weren't using or you didn't put that many dollars into, that you're probably managing and saying that, hey, this people can bring me money. Don't be afraid of Yelp, but be mindful of Yelp. um, and don't use Angie Leads. I said it. I don't care. Uh,
They're not sponsoring this one, so you ain't got to worry about
so, but no. So y'all enjoy. Y'all take care. And we'll see y'all next week, y'all. Take care.